Kids get wound up. Busy days running around in hot cars, or not enough exercise, or lots of birthday cake, and your child comes unhinged. Well, the good news is that most kids under the age of 7 are great at letting off steam through their physical bodies. This is actually a healthy mechanism. The problem arises when they're unable to calm themselves, or when we're in a situation where it's not appropriate for them to let off steam. In Chinese medicine, they say that children are pure yang energy. What that means is that children are by nature very active and fluid in their activities and emotional states. So when we meet a child that tends to get easily overstimulated, has a difficult time with transition, or becomes easily anxious, we suggest balancing this tendency. How can a parent do this? Well, it's helpful to think in terms of yin and yang energies. In order for a person to be balanced, they need a balance between that which is active and energizing, yang, with that which is nurturing and calming, yin. Our lives today are very active and often even stressful. Some kids adapt to this change in stimulation, and some feel overwhelmed by it. And sometimes, very sensitive kids respond to overwhelm by becoming overwhelming themselves. One way to help a wound up or anxious child is to ensure that there are moments in their day that help to nourish or quiet them. These parts of the day are considered yin or passive in nature. It is the yin element that is most often lacking in our day-to-day lives. And if we as parents really try to incorporate this aspect into our family's life, we may actually reduce our own stress. I have learned pretty quickly that when I'm spending the day with my son or his friends, the day usually goes more smoothly if we spend a portion of the day at home. The kids seem refreshed and ready to engage after about an hour of alone time or quiet time playing by themselves. After a very busy morning at the Children's Museum, a friend's daughter announced to me in the car that she thought it was time to go to our house and play by herself. Too much activity was giving her a headache. Basically, she was asking me to nourish her yin, or deep, calm, quiet side of herself. Not all kids can articulate this so well, but they still may need it. Other things that balance the yin are long baths or any type of swimming. Water can be really a calming influence. Sitting outside, reading stories, hugs too. You may also need to take a look at your child's sleep schedule. It's often surprising how much sleep a child actually needs to nourish themselves and to grow. Please refer to our section on sleep and the immune system on DVD 3. Yes, you may be thinking, but what can I do when my child is in an anxious or hyperactive state already? One thing I have used and recommended regularly with my clients is a flower essence called Rescue Remedy. I have it on hand in my purse and place 6 to 20 drops under the tongue as needed. You can also purchase Rescue Remedy as an ointment. Rubbed at the wrists, this can have an incredibly beneficial effect. One client I know took it with her when her child was getting a required shot. The child went from screaming cries to calm serenity the second the Rescue Remedy got rubbed into his wrists. Placebo? All I know is that it was so effective that the MD and the nurse both immediately asked to borrow some and tried it on themselves. Another method is to rub your child's feet to calm them. There's a little hollow if you trace down the bottom of the foot from the third toe. This point is about level with the base of the ball of the foot. Pressing firmly here with your thumb will help you to ground your child and to direct the energy of the body downward. Another massage technique is to stand behind the child and press down firmly on the tops of his or her shoulders, about halfway between the neck and the end of the clavicle. When you're done pressing here, you can take your fingers or a magnet and gently massage the indentation directly under the cervical vertebra 7 at the base of the neck before it connects with the torso. This is considered a neurological reset point and can have wonderful calming results. If you have magnets on hand, you can also place the magnets on the little hollow on the pinky side where the hand meets the wrist at the wrist crease. Otherwise, this is a really nice area to gently massage. You can also massage or place magnets in the center of the arm, about 3 child-width fingers above the wrist toward the elbow. This point calms, soothes, and we talked about it with regards to nausea and motion sickness as well. You can also make a tea for your child out of some combination of lemon balm, sage, or chamomile. For older kids, I like to use valerian, but it has to be given for a couple of nights in a row to be effective. If your child is red-faced and hot-looking, you may also consider peppermint tea, which is cooling. Some children will tend towards hyperactivity or anxiety. From our perspective, there are various reasons for this. Some kids have too much heat in their system and tend towards getting worked up. Other children need more grounding and anchoring. But for all children, it is really important to look at lifestyle. In my experience, a large number of children are reacting to environmental toxins and some type of food intolerance. If you can eliminate the culprit, they feel tons better. Looking at your child's diet is the first place to start. In particular, I recommend eliminating or restricting refined sugar, food additives, MSG, and food coloring. You'll want to ensure that your child is getting enough good fatty acids, such as cold-pressed vegetable oils like olive, safflower, walnut oil, evening primrose oil, and high-quality fish oils. All of these help to support the nervous system. Some of our patients have also had great success with liquid vitamin B supplementation. In fact, one family asked me to FedEx it to them on vacation. They could really tell the difference. As always, you'll want to check with your health practitioner before beginning any new line of supplementation. Another area to investigate would be the number of hours your child is exposed to media, computer, or TV, and how many hours of physical exercise they're getting. If your child is school age, consider if the way they learn best is compatible with the environment that they're in. Many schools, both public and private, have resources for children with different learning styles. Take a look at the resource guide at the end of this DVD for a place to start. If your child is revealing a pattern of anxiety or hyperactivity that is impeding their social experience or their ability to learn in an educational setting, you'll want to consult with a trained practitioner. And also refer to DVD 3, where we talk more in depth about food allergies and environmental toxins.